All right, here we are. It is September 5th, Labor Day. For all of our American friends, hi, hello, and welcome. This is Jury Duty. We can't wait to get into so many things. There's a lot to do tonight. As you know, it's BB Comics Week, which is such an iconic week in US BB. And
Wait, is this week actually BB Comics Week? I thought we just started talking about it.
No, I think
no.
Okay, I'm a genius.
Yeah, no, that's why we're doing this. Hello.
I literally brought it up just because I was like, oh, I can't wait for BB Comics. I didn't know it was actually this week.
Yes, that's why we're doing all this thing. Well, welcome
Get with it.
So what we did this week is that we took our preseason winner picks and decided to draw our own BB Comics for you all to rate on the socials. We're going to have a poll going on Instagram and Twitter, first time ever, a double poll to really get the pulse of our friends. So we're really excited. There's so much to do tonight. Let's get into it all. Okay. This is stupid. All right, it is September 5th, and this is Jury Duty, your favorite Big Brother podcast. I am Kyle Pei. So happy to join you on tonight. So happy you'll be joining me. I am joined by my besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. You can find us on the socials at BB Jury Duty or on our website at bbjuryduty.com. Okay, so I really just watched last night's episode.
Me too.
Yeah, not crazy things to discuss here. Nothing really crazy going on. But okay, so this was the HOH competition that really could have happened live on Thursday, but we were too preoccupied with other shenanigans and we didn't get it.
I can't imagine this competition went any longer than 2 minutes after the episode.
Yeah.
I like 2 better than 5, and I agree. Yeah, really lame. There's really no reason why we could have known this leaving Thursday.
No.
It's all because you wanted to take an extra commercial break during Kyle's faux exit interview that we didn't get to see the whole thing.
And because Julie wanted to explain to us what the responsibilities of the HOH were, as if we didn't just watch 8 weeks of other people doing it.
The HOH, safe from eviction, will be nominating 2 nominees for eviction.
Yeah, Julie, we know.
Who's
tuning in for the first time today?
I think we also had a completely unnecessary showman segment that we did not need, because I'm sure everybody would have preferred to see the HOH comp. So, yeah, we could have seen this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is kind of the case. This is the ongoing case. However, because Kyle left, hopefully this is the end of things. There's no more Kyle. There's no more Joseph. Much to our chagrin. No more Joseph. But at least there's no more showmans. There's no more showmans to discuss. It's just straight game going forward. And with that, in the most boring of ways, so Michael wins HOH. I'm really growing weary of this. I don't think that's interesting. Who cares? I don't know.
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's interesting just because he's getting, he's been getting close to Janelle's record, which I know you're not thrilled about, Kyle. But
that's why Kyle hates it.
Of course,
right? It's impressive, I guess, to see somebody win so much, I guess. But what bugged me was that this whole time that they were playing the HOH comp, everybody was like, "Oh, Michael's a good target this week. How about Michael for a backdoor target? Michael for a backdoor target? Should we send Michael out this week?" And it was oh, of course he wins. So now none of that stuff they were talking about.
And this is why, granted, none of us wanted to see Michael go out earlier. And granted, he still was playing in a lot of competitions. But this is why, this shot should have been taken so much longer ago when nobody was paying attention to Michael. I don't understand how, earlier on the season, no one was clocking that he was winning so many competitions back to back to back. It's I don't want to see Michael leave, but for everybody's game, y'all got to get rid of him. And
Right.
now we're in a situation where no matter what, whether he's on the block or not, he will be playing in every veto because we're going to be down to 6. So, like, no
Tommy
matter
and I
what
just discussed this
happens,
tonight. Absolutely.
no matter what happens, he can very easily win his way to final 2
Mhm.
without getting evicted. You should have taken this shot a long time ago.
Right.
And, like, maybe
it's already too late.
Maybe in a week where his veto chip wasn't pulled and he wasn't on the block, backdoor him. Like, that was your opportunity. He should have gone a while ago.
Right. For me, the only hope at this stage is that we see Michael leave on Thursday doing the double.
I think that's the only option at this point. Like, is like get him while he's flustered, you know?
Right. And it's not even so much that I'm not really actively rooting against Michael. It's just that it is starting to become a little bit of a boring season. Like, I don't like going into each and every competition just with this assumption that Michael will win, and then I'm always correct. Like, it sucks.
Right. Yeah. And especially in this competition, it was not even close. People were on like their second piece, and Michael was done with his puzzle already.
Yeah, people were still running back and forth.
I think Monty made a comment that like he was kind of keeping up with Michael when they were trying to like transfer their pieces back and forth. But as soon as they all got their pieces to the other side, Michael was he was done in a matter of seconds. So like it's just and like I love Janelle, so like it's not like I wanted to see Michael break Janelle's record or anything like that. But I feel like it's been impressive to watch, but I also don't want the season to end with Michael just continuing to win and steamroll everybody. I want something unexpected to happen now.
That's the thing. Like, can you imagine if Michael left this game? What would it look like?
Right.
And like, not for nothing, like we have seen
house guest. I was going to say employee. There's so much potential for each employee. I'm out at work for each house guest.
But also, not for nothing, like we have seen in previous seasons, people with way less of a win record than Michael win their way through these endgame competitions. Like we've seen it happen multiple times with people who don't have nearly as many wins on their resume as Michael does right now.
Right. I think these people have a problem. If they don't get him out Thursday, I think they're cooked.
You think?
I don't see a situation in which he's able to be taken out if not.
Right, because coming out of Thursday, he's going to get to play HOH again. And then you're going to now have him running this entire house for a whole week. It's one thing to win HOH during the double. It's almost like it matters for so much and also matters for so little. Gosh.
Can I bring something up then? And I wasn't really going to mention it.
That's why we're here.
It's not really a spoiler, but it's because there were some conversations going on in the house from what I saw this week about Michael and Brittany that other people were having. And they were saying it's important to take a shot at some point soon, at Michael, right? But if we can't do that, maybe we should take a shot at Brittany. Because now with the way that Michael and Brittany handled this whole Kyle situation and the way they handled this information, right? They're thinking, okay, if Michael and Brittany are up there, someone can vote for Michael to win because Michael deserves the win over Brittany. But let's say that it's somebody like a Michael and a Monty, or a Michael and a Taylor, or a Michael and a Turner. Maybe now they would have a better chance of being voted to win the game against Michael because people will be unhappy with how Michael and Brittany used the information against Kyle and the way they did. What do you think about that?
I do think that's really interesting because I was thinking about that. I was talking to James about it before because I haven't really seen anything to point in the direction of a bitter jury, but I wasn't thinking about people might really hold that against him.
Yeah.
Because I in my head I'm like, well, he's gonna take Brittany and then whatever. If he keeps winning, I for whatever reason didn't account for the fact that if he keeps winning, that doesn't necessarily keep Brittany safe. Right. So I just didn't think about that as being a factor to be bitter against him because they would also be bitter against Brittany, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I was only bringing it up because I feel like it's not really a spoiler, but it's something that I only saw being talked about on the feeds and on Twitter this week.
Yeah.
Even, past the episode that we saw last night, game wise. So I was wondering what you guys thought about that, because this could really be something that comes back to bite Michael and Brittany, sharing this information in the way that they did, sitting on it for as long as they did. People are not happy about it. So, and rightfully so.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'd like to reverse charge you with this thought. If the final two was Michael and Brittany, do we think that it's also possible then? All right, listen, I don't really think that Brittany, as much as I like her, she's taking a lot of flack right now, right? But I still like her. I still like the girl. And as much as I like her, I just don't think that she is as cunning or as, what's the word? Manipulate is not the right word. There's such a negative connotation around that. Cunning is really great, but I want one more. But I just don't think that she's thinking as much about this game as Michael is. And I wonder if the damage that maybe that has been done by this move between Michael and Brittany will now actually really stand to hurt Michael more than Brittany. I could actually see Brittany kind of coming out slightly less scathed than him, because people won't really view her as their mastermind behind things. Now, I will also say that it is completely possible, because there are so many conversations that we see between Michael and Brittany. And again, I have not been paying very close attention to the feed, so there could be some contrarian information out there. But assuming we've seen what was the most important, there's a lot of conversations between Michael and Brittany, and I have to wonder how much of Brittany's influence is involved in some of the decisions that Michael is making. Michael is always the one that's in power, so we're always giving him the credit for some of these larger moves and some of whatever. Is that really all him, or is that some of Brittany's thought process that is influencing his decision? We're just giving him the credit for it because he's the one that was in power to actually make a move on that.
I don't know. I have to go back and look, but I mean, based on what we're seeing, based on what we're seeing this week, I feel like Michael's getting really annoyed with Brittany, and I feel like
that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
I feel like a lot of these weeks, Brittany has really been more sloppy and kind of all over the place. I don't think that she's been as big of a benefit to Michael's game at any point, other than being a number than Michael has been to her game.
And I was going to say, I think in my head, Brittany, this whole game so far has been kind of a yes man of Michael says, this is what I think we should do. And she's like, yeah. And I remember talking about it when the house was going to be split before we knew what the split was going to be. Because I remember us saying that if Brittany and Michael aren't both on the same side, it could be really dangerous for Brittany, because Michael, I think, is the thing that has grounded her this game. She's been very chaotic. She's been very all over the place. And Michael is the one that's all right, take a deep breath. Maybe we don't blow up everything right now.
Right.
And I think to your point, I don't know. I don't see her as being somebody that comes up with plans and calls the shots. I see her being oh my God, but what about this? What if we don't, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really stressed out. And Michael's all right, I think maybe the best plan is this. And she goes, oh, okay. Yeah, I agree. I do think that's a good plan. I don't see her coming up with things. I see her just kind of attaching herself and being yeah, we'll do what Michael wants to do. And just kind of being his second in command. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
it seems
but I also wonder, well, go ahead.
Well, because it seems and other house guests have said this, and I even heard Brittany kind of say something weird. The way she phrased it was weird. It seems like Brittany has kind of just decided, and not just now, but weeks ago, decided that I'm just going to come in second place, and that's fine, and Michael will win, and I just want to be second place to Michael, so I'm going to do whatever I can do to benefit Michael's game.
And she said that to him before.
Yeah. And she actually said at one point in this past episode, I think she was talking about Turner, oh yeah, it would make sense for us to get Turner out this week because Turner is the biggest threat to Michael's game. And I was like, why aren't you talking about who's the biggest threat to your game? Why are you so concerned with who's the biggest threat to Michael's game?
No,
I know he's your final two, but she just doesn't seem to actually care about winning and like she's really concerned with if Michael leaves, now I'm just out in the open, so I'm not going to win or come in second place. Like,
I don't think it's ever made the edit, but there was a whole thing on feeds where she was basically telling Michael, like, I want to be second place to you. I want you to win this game, and then I will be the second. And like people were speculating, is she just kind of saying that to like stroke his ego and make him feel like, oh, take me to final two. I don't really want to win. But then the rest of the things that she did that day and the rest of the conversations that she had with other people really did lend to her being like, no, like, I want you to win. I will come in second. Like, I'm totally cool with that. Like, she's not really playing to win right now.
Right. But like, then how do we make sense of some of the conversations that she had with Taylor? Basically, like, agreeing that we need to make a move on Michael, like when we can.
I don't think she
wonder
did,
if she's
though.
playing the long game. Well,
I don't think she did. She didn't agree, though. She actually said her and Taylor were having that conversation in the kitchen. Like Taylor saying, yeah, like if we have a chance, we should take a shot at Michael. And then they cut to Brittany being like, I'm telling Taylor that I'd love to make a move on Michael, but I have no intention of actually doing that. I want to keep Michael in as long as I possibly can. Like, I don't. And if you end up in the final 2 or 3 and Michael's there, you're not going to beat him. He just set the record. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's
he's
what
won
I
more
like
comps than anybody ever.
Watching that conversation was wild because I was like, Brittany, I don't know how you're not seeing that, like, and even Taylor, because Taylor was saying like, oh, let's not cut him now. Let's wait to cut him until the end. I was like, I don't know how you guys aren't seeing that he's going to end up winning that last HOH. There are 2 competitions in there for him to beat you in. And he is going to, you two, Brittany and Taylor are not going to win all 3 of those endgame competitions and cut Michael. There's no situation in which that will happen.
No.
Kyle looks very deep in thought.
I just want to hold out hope that she's just not being a clown. Like I want to hold out hope that like there is a world in which she would make a move against Michael. And like, are we all right? This is not a direct challenge. I'm not being argumentative. Are we 100% sure that the comment that she made when she said, "Oh, I don't really plan to make this move against Michael," was that really after her conversation with Taylor? Was that after something else? Because I just felt like my takeaway was a little bit different.
I mean, it was edited after, and like as if she came in after.
That's how it was edited. Oh, okay, all right. Because I was also on my phone a little bit. Like I'm leaving room for the possibility. Yeah. I'm wrong. No,
it was like we were watching. It's like we were watching the conversation between Brittany and Taylor, and Brittany was like, "Yeah, we should totally cut Michael," and then she immediately went, "I don't actually think we should cut Michael."
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Because I know I saw it. I just didn't know in what context I had seen it. Okay, so fine. I just really don't want that for her. I would love to see a situation because I am impressed because okay. Unpopular opinion. I don't want to say hot take. It's not a hot take. It could get me canceled. But I'm going to say that like, everyone is standing Taylor so hard. And we're standing Taylor because she had a rough go. But her HOH was pretty terrible. So, like, I could also accept that maybe any decision she's making game-wise in the Big Brother house is one that maybe people are discounting. So I know that she was big on saying, like, oh, I want to make a move against Michael. I guess now we can't because he just won HOH. But, like, what do we think of Taylor's comments around making a move against Michael? Do we believe that? Where do we put that in terms of the comparisons with Brittany and some of the things that she's been saying? Like, what do you think?
First of all, I think it's very funny that like you brought, because like we had a bit of this conversation off stream once before where we were saying like, as a person, we love Taylor. What Taylor dealt with in the beginning of this game was absolutely terrible. It would be like poetic justice to watch Taylor win this game after all the crap that she had to go through.
Right. But if we're looking at this objectively.
A, as a gamer, is she really the best gamer in the house? And B, I see BB Twitter very often. Anytime that anybody is even debating on targeting Taylor, even if it's not for personal reasons, we got to cancel that person. And it's like, all right, I really love Taylor. I don't think that she should just be handed the win because she got bullied in the beginning of the game.
Right.
Like, prove yourself as a competitor, and then I'm more on board. That being said, to your question, there's a piece of me that I'm like, because even I don't remember if it was Thursday's episode or Wednesday's episode where we saw that conversation between Taylor and Monty when Monty was initially pitching like we need to start looking at Michael as a target. Because I believe that Taylor had a DR in that episode where she maybe wasn't totally on board with it. I might be wrong about that. I don't remember. But I do wonder if, like, maybe Taylor is on the fence about it. And that conversation was like, let me feel out Brittany and see if Brittany would be down, because I don't want to do it. But if Brittany wants to do it, then maybe we have, like, now 3 people that are looking at this as an option. That's, like, a different conversation. So I'm curious if it was Taylor pitching it as, like, this is something we have to do. What do you think? And more of Taylor pitching it being like, I've been thinking about this. Have you been thinking about this at all? What's your temperature on this situation? You know what I mean?
So even with that, though, do we think it's so far outside the realm of possibility that even though, Brittany said what she said to Taylor, and we saw these subsequent conversations where it looked like she was doing her best to protect Michael. What do you even think about that, though? Do you think that the conversation between her and Taylor was maybe something genuine, and that everything else that we were seeing with the conversations with everybody else, because she doesn't really trust them, she wants to make sure they are still in favor of Michael in case it gets back to him? Is that a possibility? Or has there been some other things in the feeds that would throw up?
What throws me off is
the
the
DR immediately after. Like, she literally said, like, I told Taylor I'd be okay with taking out Michael, but that's
right. Okay.
I can't imagine that Brittany would be lying
maybe
to
we're
us.
we're trying to convince ourselves that this is what we're doing. We're deep down, like, I don't know.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I just don't see a situation where Brittany would be lying to us in the DR. I feel like that would be her plan to be like, you know what? Because, we see it all the time. Even when people aren't thinking of taking the shot, the DR, like, makes them, like, for the sake of the edit and, like, constructing a narrative. And, I don't know what's going to happen. We see people being like, yeah, I'm having this conversation with Taylor. Maybe it is time to take a shot at Michael. I have to really give more thought to this. You saw her do a hard no and be like, I'm lying to Taylor. I'm not doing that.
I agree.
I will say, I was surprised to see how open Taylor was to talk to Brittany about Michael in that way. I was, like, surprised by it when we were first seeing that in the episode.
You were.
Yeah, I didn't think that she would just so openly be like, so yeah, Michael, should we take out Michael? Like I didn't think that we'd be seeing that just in the middle of the kitchen, like, randomly in the edit like that. But and I do agree with you guys. I just have to say one other thing about Taylor's HOH. I do agree with you that it was totally messy. And that whole conversation in the HOH room about, like, who should I use as pawns, and she was talking about Turner and maybe Monty. I agree with you that it was all messy. But I do think that there is a part of me that feels like Taylor didn't have, like, the HOH that she necessarily should have or could have. Because I feel like while that conversation was messy, originally Taylor wanted to target Terrence, right, in that HOH. Everybody else then convinced her to target Alyssa, which she wasn't able to do because then Kyle won the veto and wouldn't do it. And then everybody said, no, now we have to get out Indy. And I'm like, hold on a second. This girl wanted to get out Terrence, and that probably was the right move. So was it as messy as it was? Because the alliance in general, I think, was very messy that week.
But see, here's the thing, because yes, correct. Like, and that's why I had a problem with people in the alliance saying that Taylor had a messy HOH, because it's like, no, like, you were the people that were flip-flopping on the plan. However, I do think it still kind of lands on Taylor, because rather than making the move that was right for her game, she was people-pleasing. So she wasn't, like, trying to sit there and be like, oh, I want to get Terrence out. Like, this is my target. Let me talk with people and try to, like, figure out the best way for us to come to, like, a common ground of why this is the best person for me to get out. It was, all right, I want to get out Terrence, but I also don't want to piss off my alliance. So what do you guys want to do? I'll do what you guys want to do, and let's do, like, what's best for the alliance this week.
But I think in that situation, she was in a tough spot because she was saying Terrence, the alliance was saying Alyssa, but the alliance, Kyle, was also saying, no, not Alyssa. You know what I mean? So, like, what does she do? That's all. I just love Taylor. So
I don't disagree with that, but you know what? What does she do? It shouldn't be suggesting that Joseph go up. I mean, the moment that was a conversation point, I was like, I'm done with this HOH. This is a disaster. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, she was literally the person that everyone thought they wanted to sit up against, and every single person went home up against her. So why, in a season that has been this unpredictable, even to y'all, why in the world would you suggest your number one to go up on the block? Like, what are you doing? Like, if
my whole issue about all of that was the other left, because we saw, I don't remember if it was in the episode or if it was just a feeds thing, but we saw the leftovers going on. Like, Taylor's so messy. She doesn't know who her target is. Like, some days she wants Alyssa and some days, and it's like, y'all, that was you. Like,
Yeah.
the reasons why you're saying that her HOH was messy is because you couldn't figure out who the target was. And
right,
she's
and
just
you're
trying to like do
confusing
what you
her.
want.
Yeah, she's
Right.
trying.
That's
she's
all.
trying
Which
to
is why,
work
like,
with you
I had
all
a problem-
as an alliance, right?
I had a problem with the people in her alliance calling her HOH messy. But those of us on the outside who are watching everything happen, there are reasons to point to it being messy that aren't those reasons, you know?
Sure. It was messy. I just, I stand Taylor, so AFP.
I mean, so do I. I can still say that she had a bad HOH.
I don't want the narrative to become that she don't stand Taylor. That is not it. I'm being objective. I'm looking at this from a game lens.
I didn't mean to jump weeks
messy.
back. I just
that's it. She's just messy. She's just messy. I just feel like she doesn't completely. She might have.
We all love Taylor. That doesn't mean we can't say we can still call her faults.
That doesn't mean she knows how to play the game. That's all. There's a lot of sweet people. They don't know how to play Uno.
Right. I didn't want to jump weeks back. I just feel like we've been hearing a lot of people talk about Taylor being messy that week, and I feel like her whole alliance was messy. So, let's just take a minute here.
Right, but she also took a slice of the messy pie. Is all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Right? And she dined.
Not a slice
she
of the
dined
messy pie.
But after all this, Michael puts up Alyssa and Terrence. # who cares?
Literally, I'm like, either one could go. I don't give a crap. Whatever.
Exactly. Honestly, I really don't care. I guess the only thing I really would love to see DJ Showtime walk out the door. Like, I'm so tired of him.
Sure.
I'm so tired of him and everything that he says. Like, I can't stand him. I just think.
What did you think? What did you think of his laughing during Michael's nomination speech?
So disrespectful.
What are you laughing at?
Rude. Like, what was so funny? The fact that you
because Terrence has such a great read on this whole game, and he's been doing such a great job that Michael is laughably bad.
So disgusting. Shut up. So disgusting. Honestly, get out of here.
It also just didn't make any sense though, because Michael was like giving his reasoning. He was like, Alyssa, Terrence, of all the people in here, I probably have the least connection with you game-wise. That is 100% true, and that is something that Terrence cannot deny. And in that moment, Terrence started laughing. It was like, bullshit. It was like, what do you mean bullshit? That's completely true.
And then even
all the people in the house, you and Michael probably have nothing, no connection.
And then you saw Terrence in his DR afterwards being like, yeah, Michael's just mad because I didn't give him the information that he wanted to hear. Terrence, you didn't give him any information. Yeah. And even a crumb of information would have saved you from going on the block. All you had to do was say, yeah, Turner wanted to backdoor you. Throw him under the bus. That's the game.
Yes. Yeah. Totally agree. Here's Matt.
Hi.
Says he's late. That's okay. We accept tardy friends. Had to record and watch today. Can't tell if it's a long week in getting to me, but I felt like last night's episode slapped.
I got some questions.
It might have been like a quick tap on the cheek. I'm not gonna say I felt slapped.
I found it incredibly boring.
Zingbot was fun.
But
we had Zingbot.
The rest of the episode, I was like, nothing's. I don't care. This is very cut and dry. It's very predictable.
Terrence is so full of himself. Matt says, can't stand getting outplayed by people younger than him. No lies detected.
I did think that we had some decent chatter for how people are trying to like set themselves up for the rest of the game.
What else did you think was
the problem is I feel like so much of it wasn't genuine though. I don't know.
Well, no, I think some of it was. I mean, like for example, the Taylor and Brittany conversation, I thought it was interesting to hear Taylor talking about taking a shot at Michael and Brittany, having no interest in that.
Right.
Even like
all falsehoods.
Like Monty and Turner, talking about how if they can't get Michael taking a shot at Brittany because they might have a chance to win, against Michael in Final 2 with how they've handled the Kyle information. I thought some of that was interesting. Like people are definitely thinking about things and how they might affect the rest of the game. Like Michael is such a comp beast, so people are trying to figure out ways to beat him, even if he's still sitting in those chairs. Like I feel like there was some interesting conversation that we had.
All right,
but.
We do have to talk about Zingbot, though.
We do.
You're damn right. We gotta talk about Zingbot. What were your favorite Zings? I cringed at a couple. They
weren't all good, but some of them really. Alyssa got wrecked. by
I'm glad.
That was
so bad.
brutal.
Yeah, a winter coat in the desert. Oh my gosh.
I really enjoyed Brittany finding out that she has crazy eyes.
That
just
one,
learning that for the first time.
God forgive me. I laughed so hard. I was like, Brittany, what do you mean you don't know?
What
do you mean you don't know?
That was part of what inspired some of my BB comic drawing.
Okay.
But honestly, after looking at y'all's a very minute point, I'm definitely gonna lose this.
Also, wait. There's no way this week is actually BB Comics. We got Zingbot and a double eviction.
What do you mean? They already told us it was BB Comics.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't remember
they've already been
BB Comics.
They've already been talking about what their comics were. On the
Am I
feed.
crazy?
Are you watching this season?
I have not been watching the feeds, so in my defense, whatever. But like
feeds.
I do not
Julie
remember
said
hearing
it.
them. Did she?
If she didn't, we knew it going into Thursday because
Am
we
I
said we were going
crazy?
to draw this.
I
That
know,
is
but
the whole reason why we said we were
Hold
going
on.
to draw
Wait
these
a minute.
comics.
BB
'Cause
Comics
someone
came
said
up.
it.
I'll tell you exactly how it came up. I remember BB Comics came up because we were talking about clipping things and making videos for the socials. And I was like, yeah, I used to put in so much effort and it was such an easier way to do it. But the one that I will take a lot of time on is going to be BB Comics because I love that one. I was proud of that one last year.
Right, but
and then
I
we
think
started
we had
talking
already
about it.
talked about BB Comics coming.
Right.
No,
I think that came up because of the BB Comics.
Right.
were
Like
just
we
saying.
knew
I
on
was the one who
Thursday,
brought it up.
BB
I had no idea it came up. What do you
Right, and
mean?
I guess we thought you brought it up because you had heard it. Like,
I have no
like,
recollection of anybody on this show saying BB Comics was this week.
yeah,
I thought that was
someone
coming later.
definitely said it, whether it was funny narrator or it was Julie Chen Moonbez. Somebody told us. Somebody definitely told us. No, we are on time. Jury duty is here, and we are here to play.
All right, well, let the record show. I drew my comic with no influence on what his actual comic might be.
You know what? Honestly, Matt has a great comment here, and I completely agree. Y'all try to downplay it, but we won't have it. Not me and Matt, anyway. I would cry if the producers shat on my face like they did to Michael.
That was a bad one.
Really took no prisoners last night. What do you mean that was a bad one? You tried to pacify it like it was no big deal. You're like, oh, it was no big deal. It was no big thing. Right before we went live, what are you talking about? You were like, oh, no big deal, no big deal. Michael, like, whatever. And I was like, yo, that hurt my feelings. What is she talking about? Was that you, John?
Crazy?
Am I?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about either.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Was it Tommy? What are you talking about?
Somebody said this Michael Zing was no big deal.
It was not me.
And now that you say it,
it was Tommy.
It may have been Tommy. Yeah, and actually, I'm 110% sure it was Tommy. He was like, because he was like, that wasn't a big deal. And I was like, what are you talking about? That wasn't a big deal. He was talking about his face.
No, it was a rough one. It was a pretty rough one.
Good. I actually, can we just write this timestamp down? Because Tommy needs to know that he's full of shit.
No, because
and we all thought so.
It was brutal and it was mean and whatever. And B, like, it wasn't even something specific to Michael. That was something you could say about literally anybody. There is so much you can talk about with Michael that, like, literally all you have is like, you're ugly. Next. It's like,
but
what?
He's not ugly.
No, I know. That's why, like, it was rude and unnecessary and a bad zing, but also, like, it was a bad zing because it had nothing to do with Michael.
Right. So what Zingbot actually said to Michael was that, the announcement was that masks are now optional, except for this person because they need to cover up their face because, insinuating that it is unpleasant to others. And I gotta say, I don't think Michael's face was unpleasant. I think he has really good teeth. I always think, like, my gosh, his teeth are so
He's got gorgeous teeth.
Clean. Right. That's not nice. I
didn't like that one.
I think Michael's really cute. That was not really fair.
And, like, I know I'm about to contradict myself. I said, like,
fuck it, I'm straight.
I don't like the ones where they make fun of people's personal appearance. That always makes me feel bad. The Britney one is different because you're not, like, making fun of her. I wouldn't necessarily say you're making fun of her physical appearance. It's just like her expressions is what you're making fun of, not like her face.
Yes, and that's
what I mean.
That's fair.
That's what I think the difference is.
I also enjoyed that Zingbot sang to her.
Yeah. As soon as he started singing, I knew exactly where he was going with it, and I said, "Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!"
I didn't, even though I have used a picture of her as a reaction on Twitter. I think I either on the podcast Twitter or on my own. I recently shared it with the hashtag.
She's got a very memeable face.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. Where did you get those peepers? Like really, really fun. Who else was? Well, obviously Alyssa was rough.
Alyssa's was real bad.
Taylor sucked, but she's been through enough. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
But also,
Turner
it's
doesn't
like
shower.
Who?
Turner doesn't shower, apparently, right? That's what.
Oh, yeah. I kind of went off on Twitter about this too. What do you mean? He tried to justify all this with talking about how he showers every other day. Bro, that ain't it. Every other day is not validating your spice in this. Absolutely not.
I also left when Michael was like, Zingbot, what do you mean? Michael was like, Zingbot, what do you mean? Turner showered like 4 times this season. Why are you yelling at him?
There was even one day that he showered twice in one day. Yo, I do that several times a week, twice in one day. I consider once a day the bare minimum. Like, what are you talking about? Like, absolutely not.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Turner. Your little DR did not turn me the other side. Like, absolutely not. If you are so proud and defending yourself on the fact that you shower every other day, leads me to believe that it's entirely possible that you don't even really do that. Because that's your defense. You know what I mean? That's your defense.
The reason the zing came up is because there was a period of time in the house that, like, feeders were like, has Turner showered in the last 5 days? Like, when is this man bathing?
Yeah.
Oh, he hates it. He hates it.
So yes, because the feeders were also tweeting about the fact that he was laying in other people's beds.
Yeah, and Jasmine, too. It was the two of them that just weren't showering.
That's not her correct name.
Jasmine, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Jasmine on this Monday.
Oh, God.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No, it's really been a discussion point the entire season. So, like, please don't tell me you shower every other day. That clearly means you know it's an issue and you think that that's an acceptable response.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not. It's just not.
Yeah.
Were there any other zings that really stood out to you on this day?
There were only 2 we haven't talked about, and that was that Terrence is old and Monty is boring.
Yeah.
Both of which boring. Like, who cares? We know Terrence is old. Monty is boring. I'm sorry, John. And we say sorry, John, because Monty is John's pick to win the season. Now, it was decided.
Preseason winner picks.
Preseason winner picks. I was being fair.
Hey, listen, I'm fully willing to admit that Monty is boring, and I've also hated him at points in the season. But
he also does have a good shot at winning this thing. Like, he's not out. He's not out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Matt, no. I heard this is a millennial thing. There was somebody on my Twitter who had said, "Oh, their kids came home from college. I think it's a millennial thing." And I was like,
a millennial thing.
Miss me on the millennials. I will proudly take a step up on my step ladder and like get the hell out of millennial. All right,
what do you mean a millennial
I am not
thing?
trying to shower every other day.
How would a generation just stop showering? Like, what do you mean?
They all think it's acceptable to not, because they took that advice that we got as kids. Well, us 37 and 38-year-olds, we were told to use less water.
Oh.
Because there's not going to be any good water for the rest of Earth. That's what I was told. I was even told that, like, when I'm rinsing after I brush my teeth, that, like, once I get the water in my mouth, like, to rinse with, I should turn the water off because that's
I remember there being songs on, like, Sesame Street or something about don't waste water. Like, that was, like, a big thing even when I was younger.
What did it sound like?
I don't remember.
Yeah, can you sing
Remember
it for
that
us?
song.
Damn, I wanted her to sing for us.
I was hoping.
Because, you know, like, Gina Regino is nationally known as a talent.
True.
Oh no.
Whatever. You went on
Nope.
tour, we didn't. So, yeah.
Can I just, on a brief sidebar, I was so upset. One of my coworkers at work just moved into her college dorm with like a new roommate that she didn't know, and she was talking about she was talking about like how she was going into work and she had like mentioned me by name, and her roommate goes, "Say that name again." And then she said my name and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm obsessed with the Emoji Land tour debacle." And I went, "No!"
Oh.
I went, "Why is my failed tour?"
No, we don't acknowledge that it was a failed tour. Gina went on tour nationally known and accredited. Get your
I'm
life.
in a pro
Like,
shot, all right?
about?
I'm in a
Y'all
pro
tried it.
shot.
That's right. Y'all don't know Gina
Nationally
Regino.
known.
Follow
Known to rock the
tonight
microphone.
if you aren't already. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. So Matt says your body makes some great natural oils. I'll send you some essays. Yes,
Oh,
please
coming
do.
through with a dissertation.
Listen, we love a good dissertation. We love good things to read while we're laying in bed when it's quiet time. You know, she likes to take a nice 20, 25 minutes to herself and read her correspondence. So if this is tonight's reading, that's fine. You already know my DMs. You're always in them. So, like, honestly, send them on. I want to know. Oh, that wasn't shade. That wasn't shade. I'm happy you're there. I love you, Matt. Yeah, no shade, no shade. Happy you're there. He said I'm a little crunchy, but don't cancel me. Crunchy is a fantastic way to get canceled. I don't know. You're about to see yourself out of my DMs. You better stop it. Stop talking crazy. Crunchy.
Crunchy is hysterical.
Crunchy is horrifying. Like, I'm not here for it, but we love you anyway. Yo, can we get into our comics? Wait, hold on. Wait,
no.
That should be for the end. That should be at the end. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. Alyssa and Terrence nominated.
Right.
Anybody watching tonight already knew that because we did that last night. That's not a spoiler. Do we do spoilers first or our comics first?
No, we got to do comics first because then people are going to click off. As
Gina says, "Nar." I've been saying that.
Nor.
I sing it so much. It's so good. It's so good. Okay.
It's amazing.
I want to unroll this in the order in which they were received. I do want to share mine last because I know that's the one that John and Gina have not seen, and I haven't
seen either of yours.
Well, I can confidently confirm that mine is the worst. Again, I'm not. Listen, I'm not.
You don't know that.
Votes. I don't. No, I do know that because I saw them all. I'm the only one.
We have to make sure that we like explain the comics to the audio only listeners.
We have to. We have to explain the comics. We have to give them a reason to come here. We have to explain the comics, of course, because everybody has a theme of their own, and you got to speak to it. So let's start with our challenge king.
I'm so excited.
The incomparable, the iconic, the legendary John Todd Dunphy. He had selected Monty as her winner pick for BB24. And this was the comic that John came up with. Okay, interpolation of Monty Mole from
okay.
So please tell us more about your picture here. Tell us, please.
So I'm a terrible artist. Okay, I'm sorry, everyone, but
you wouldn't be putting yourself down as much if you knew what I drew. That's all right. Go ahead. Tell us about it.
Monty. This is Monty looking very muscular, playing whack-a-mole, and so he's got his big, the hammer there.
Yes.
You see a little M on his shirt for Monty.
M.
I tried to
Mighty Monty.
And then the moles that are popping up in the little holes are all the jury members that have left the house already.
I appreciate that her name is written as Jasmine.
Oh, absolutely. Her name is written as Jasmine. I considered putting all of the evicted house guests down there, but that seemed like a lot. So So we just went with the 4 jurors that we've gotten so far, which is Indy, Joseph, Jasmine, and Kyle. So that's that, and that's my picture.
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's really, really great. Yeah, no, I do. Okay, so next is Gina Regina's comic. Okay. She had to do Michael because that was her winner pick preseason. And this is what she came up with. Comp Beast Michael Bruno. Okay. So tell us things.
Okay. Well, first of all, I must acknowledge, it does not look like Michael. What it does look like is a character from Doug. That was by accident. I don't know what happened. Apparently, my art style is Doug characters. I don't know. But, so he is the Comp Beast.
Yes,
now, I did not know how to draw an animal. So we just made him purple. Because that felt correct. We went mutant, we went X-Men. That's where we're going with this. You will notice he's wearing You will notice that he's wearing really nice boots. That is not because I didn't know how to draw a foot, and it is a choice for his costume. Thank you.
Robin
Isn't
Hood,
though, because now you're showing such a light on it. Are you sure? Are you sure that's what it was?
Obviously, I know how to draw a foot, as you can see by the really artistic hand that you can see in the comic. It's really, really realistic. It's a very good hand.
It looks good.
You will notice that he is holding a Captain America style shield that is just a large veto.
Yeah, he's great.
He is also throwing ninja stars that are just HOH keys. Because he is the Comp Beast.
This is fire. I think this is great.
I added in a lot of shading in my coloring to make up for the fact that the drawing is not the best. I had to really put my talents to use somewhere. Thank you very much.
I am laughing because you are trying so hard to make such an explanation for your comic and like defend it and such. And when you see what I did,
Kyle, I was literally cry laughing drawing this, and then I was like, do I need to like make a background? Or like this is just like it's so like I was staring at it for 20 minutes like, how do I make this better? Because how is this my best work?
No, my gosh. Listen, I want to say that I made this and I was very proud of it. And then when y'all put y'all's in the drive, I was like, fuck, I lost. I already know it's not good. But please still vote for me anyway. Please vote for me anyway. I feel like I have to sell mine a little bit before I show what it is. So my winner is
Hey, we didn't get to sell ours.
I know, but y'all didn't need it because y'all's is better. Okay, when you see mine, you'll excuse the fact that I've broken the rules. So like, my person was Brittany Hoops. Okay, so I went with a basketball theme, of course. Right? I don't know how to draw a hand. I don't know how to do boots. Everything here is stick figures. All right, this is what Kyle Petty did for Brittany Hoops. Let me tell you about it. Let me just tell you about it. Hold on. So it's Brittany, the assistant Hoops, all right, because she's not actually accomplished anything. So her thought bubble is, what's going on? And that's why you have all these question marks, right? And she's saying, you have to win, Michael, for us. Meanwhile, it's really for him. And it's him. All right, so the original concept was that it was going to be her slam dunking on the competition, right? But
right.
She hasn't done anything slam dunk worthy. So it's really Michael that's been doing it. So it was supposed to be her throwing an assist to him, hence the assist and
Gotcha.
but then once I drew her shirt, I didn't really know how to draw her passing the ball. So now she's just standing there with no feet, no hands. And he's throwing the ball. That's the best I can. And I had the audacity, the nerve to sign it.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's my favorite part because John and I were just like, "Here's our picture," and Kyle was like, "Bye, Kyle."
I made this with my mom sitting across from me. I was like, "Mommy," I'm like, "I have to sign it. Everyone's gonna sign their work." She's like, "Don't sign that." I'm like, "Get out of here!" I'm so proud.
Don't sign that.
Don't sign that.
Listen, Listen, if you are an audio-only listener, you are incorrect on this one.
You're
You've
so
got to
incorrect.
go
You're
and watch this
so
and look at these
incorrect.
pictures.
Listen, these
Oh,
pictures,
man.
here's what I've decided. I made an executive decision without anybody else. We are going to be posting this on the podcast Instagram, okay?
Of course.
We are going to list each of us as a collaborator on each post. So you'll be able to see on the BB Jury Duty podcast account or on our personal accounts what we've drawn. And you're going to have the opportunity to vote on our Instagram or on Twitter. For the first time, we are opening our polls up to our Twitter friends. Okay, so you have an option to vote for your favorite BB comic presented to you from your favorite jurors on Instagram or Twitter. And we will reveal the winner on Thursday's stream following the double.
Amaze.
Okay, so what an exciting week for Jury Duty. What an exciting week for BB24. It's just going to be a really, really good time. Matt says, frame them all. Put them in a museum.
I showed mine to my roommate and I said, James, should I put this on the fridge?
Right. Should I present my artwork to Blathers? Sounds like who? I only played that game for 3 days. Blathers, who is running the museum.
He's the museum
on
curator.
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Listen,
Blathers.
these are going to be famed pieces of artwork. Red is going to be selling counterfeits of these, all right? These are very highly valued.
For this shady-ass boat. On the north side of your island, you can find our artwork. That was stupid. Counterfeits and all.
I'm going to frame it and put it, like, right here. So it's just always with us.
Oh, my gosh. I will find a space for mine.
We have
I will
to.
find
We
a
have
space for mine.
to.
It has to be. It has to be. This was my BB comic. Yeah. That's awesome. That absolutely should be. So thank you, Matt, for giving that to us. I hadn't even thought of it. Matt says, make them NFTs, call them the Flarn Collection.
Ouch.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
No, actually, I really love it. I would love for my photo to be considered a Flarn. Officially.
My photo is absolutely a Flarn.
Officially.
My picture was presented to you all as a Flarn. Like, that is true. That is the, I don't want to say the personification because it's not a person, but it is the actualization, the picturization, if that's a word. Let's check with Miriam later. But that is what a Flarn looks like in person, live and in color. I really only use pink, orange.
All right, there's still colors in there.
Come on now, colors. Come on, colors.
Okay, colors.
Okay, colors. This went way off the rails. We're so sorry for our audio-only friends. I hope you'll join us on the YouTube. So that's it. Please head to our socials. BB Jury Duty on Twitter and Instagram. You can vote at least for the next.
Are they even posted yet?
No. But it will be posted by tonight. Our live friends will wait. They'll wait.
It's very important.
Yeah, they ride for us. They ride for us. For our only audio. That would have worked if I didn't pause. For our only audio friends, yeah, you can find it later, but we'll be there. I would say within the next half hour. Why not? It's very easy to post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all, I just don't want to be second. Can I just make like a really cheap fucking plea? Like, come on, y'all. Come
You
on,
don't
give
want to
it
be
me.
second?
I only want to be second. I don't deserve.
Oh, I thought
to
you were
win.
saying. I thought you said you don't want to be second, like as if you
Yeah,
were campaigning for last place.
You were like, I don't want to be second. That's what you said.
But why would you assume that I was coming for last place? If I said I want to be second,
Because you've been
I just wanna be
shitting on your
first.
picture this whole stream.
Right, but how dare you assume I would accept something lesser than? Like what is that even? Like,
Oh my god.
she wants
That's
to
why-
win. She wants to win. That's
Well,
why she did
that's-
this. Come on, Brittany, the assistant.
That's why it was just confusing to hear you say, I just don't want to be second.
I was like, are
Because
you
then it's like, well,
asking
then
to
you
be
can
in
only
last place?
Yeah. It's like then you can only be first or third, and all you've been saying this whole time is that your picture's the worst. That's
But I was also making a plea that people vote for me. Like,
I just
come
would have thought
on
you
now.
said like,
Why would you allow the to be on the other side? What manipulation? For that, I deserve an extra 2 votes.
no,
So here's the thing.
there's no manipulation. I'm just saying I would have
Kyle
assumed
Petty
that you
for
would
Jury
say.
Duty BB Comics win. And we will see you on Thursday when I take the gold. I don't deserve it. I know I don't
All I'm
deserve
saying
it.
is that I would have assumed you'd say, I just don't want to be last.
Well, you know what happens when you assume. For our Australian friends, it means you make an ass out of you, not me.
Wow. Wow. You're lying to our Australian friends. That's not what that saying is.
That might be the saying that everybody else has. This is my saying. Okay, I was speaking. I was speaking. The saying might be an ass out of you and me, but like, why would what you say make me an ass? Like, y'all tried it. Like, that's only on you.
What's happening?
Sorry. I don't really know what's happening. I don't really know what's happening.
This really has gone off the rails.
And nobody left. So thanks for hanging. So what do we think about the next week coming up here?
Well, apparently we're playing BB Comics.
Yeah, apparently. Like, we had already been told that. Like, Gina,
Kyle,
we
I
did that.
didn't know. I didn't know.
We were so on time, and like, it's actually terrible that you've shown such a light on the fact that like you
I
act
know.
like we didn't know. Like, we did
I'm
this.
saying
all
I
to be-
didn't know.
Right, we would just want to be
just
part of
brought
the
it-
zeitgeist.
I just brought it up because I liked the reel that I did last year, and I want to make another one. And I thought that that's how this all came up. I didn't know
And
BB
you're going to
Comics
get
was
your
this
opportunity
week.
to do so. I hope that Entertainment
Like-
Weekly actually shares those comics with us ahead of time, like they did last
Mhm.
year. That's what really allowed us to do.
Did
that.
they do it ahead of time
right.
last year?
Yeah. If it wasn't ahead of time, at least it was in time, like
Yeah.
for the pod. Because we
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, we were
obviously-
going live right after. Yeah.
Yeah, we obviously ran down, and I would not have had time to prepare all that if it wasn't a little bit ahead of
Right,
time.
that's true.
So it had to at least be like some time in there, because back
Yeah,
then
no, you're right.
we were going live after the Wednesday episode too.
Right.
Yeah.
So it had to be somewhat ahead of time that I was able to like
Yeah.
crop everything and stuff. Yeah, it had to be. I would expect to get something. If they did it last year, they'd definitely do it this year. Like,
Right.
Like, why stop? Well, I guess we'll find out. I would love to be able to compare what they actually came up with what
Well, obviously
we did.
ours are better.
I'm not so sure, but I would hope so. I would hope at least it can hold a dim candle to it.
A dim candle.
No.
Dim.
No, ours is not even comparable.
A struggling flame. Well, not even comparable in which way? Which way is this erring? On ours or theirs? I guess theirs, because he doesn't want to say. So that means we didn't do great. That's fine. Like, whatever, John. Whatever, John. You're so proud of yours. Honestly, yours
I
is
didn't
really
say
great.
It was.
No.
It was really good.
But yours has a really great theme. I knew that. You know what? What inspired me to put a little bit of color in mine was the fact that you had said off stream that you were like, I have these colored pencils.
I got my
was
colored
like,
pencils. And we were
I
like,
was like, what
uh-oh.
you mean? Got colored pencils. I was like, So I said to my mom, I was like, I better put some pink in this shirt. We're gonna do something. Oh, you guys did so good. Oh my gosh, these keys are so great.
Thank you. James made fun of me because he said it looks like he's dropping them and not throwing them because I couldn't draw the hand. So I put little whooshies behind them so it looked like they were like flying.
I didn't give them a thought to it. I just thought it was very inventive and cute that
Thank
you
you.
came up with a way to kind of count his wins. It didn't matter if he was throwing or dropping. It really, really doesn't matter. Like, because we have that fun thing in our culture of like dropping the mic. Yeah, bitch. I'm fucking dropping my 3 keys. Like, what you want to say? Like, I
That
am
is
that
so
calm
fair.
beast.
I did intend for them to be like ninja stars, but
That's what I'm
I'll
saying, like,
accept
these
that
keys,
as an alternative interpretation.
No, this picture says to me, like, listen, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I got so many fucking keys. Jingle, jingle, jingle. I don't fucking care. I'm just throwing them on the floor. Let me just be quiet. Because I'm making such a case against my picture. This picture is really, really great because, like, she has the question marks. And I signed it. Like, come on.
I like that you gave her crazy eyes. That was attention to detail.
Listen, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for pointing that out.
It was attention to detail. I appreciate that.
That was intentional. It truly, truly was. My mother was like, why does her eyes look like that? I was like, because you haven't watched last night's episode yet. That is what Zingbot really honed in on, and I really wanted to lean into it. She's got the crazy eyes, very intense, and that's what she looks like. So thank you. Thank you for reminding me to bring that to people's attention. Hopefully that gets me one more vote, if not 2 or 3. And hopefully it's enough to at least surpass you. I'm so sorry, but John already won. But like, make me a liar. Vote Kyle Petty for best comic.
Damn, Kyle live on air decided that mine is not as good as John's. That's very upsetting to me.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at the colored pencils.
Look at my colored pencils. I worked hard on that. There's shading in there. I
can see your lines though. There's the margin and everything. Like his is like a clean blank slate, no holes.
This is outrageous.
You're saying it's outrageous as if I've wronged you so bad, but I'm also shitting on mine. So like you don't get to like you don't really like get to do that just because somebody did better than us. Like, I mean, look at this. I mean, he went with Monty Mole. He also leaned into
I even made somebody else. I did not look at John's ahead of time. I made my roommate look at John's ahead of time, and I said, make sure that that his isn't better than mine. Just all I needed, like, look at his and tell me if mine is better. That's all I needed.
And what did your roommate say?
No, because his words. Because his words were, he didn't want to like give me too much information because he didn't want to spoil me on what your comic looked like, and he went, "It looks like it was drawn by a 7th grader who's trying really, really hard to pass art."
I'll take it.
Here's what I liked about John. Listen, I like both. I'm not trying to throw any shade. What I think what John has working for him is the fact that, you know, when I posted the definition of the word flarn, you know, we used Mario Party as a reference, and the fact that he has now leaned into the minigame aesthetic as well as Monty Mole being a Nintendo character. I just feel like he's really leaned into the branding, you know, obviously much to my chagrin, but I just feel like it just ties into so many things that like you just can't ignore that. I got nothing. I don't ever want to show anybody that again.
Here's what I'll say. This. Here's what I'll say about all of our comics.
Yeah, tell us.
I'm very glad that we did this. I think this was really fun. I had so much fun drawing this last night. Like the whole time, I was just sitting there, thinking about this. I was watching the episode. I was drawing I had Monty's picture in front of me. And I just loved that
you really went hard on this, right?
Oh,
yeah. You bought your little pencils, you got your little paper, pulling up the Paramount Plus.
I love that we did this, and I
was cry laughing drawing mine.
I think we definitely have to do more stuff like this because I think it was really fun. And I had a blast. So
no, stop. It was really, really fun, and like the fact that I got my mom into Big Brother too, and like she was enjoying just the construction of this, and like you know, who doesn't like being judgmental? Of course, she loved like throwing out the fact that she thought it was terrible. Like the whole thing was like fun. It was just fun for everybody. It was like made for a very, very fun day. Hey Matt, he says I can't draw for shit. Elementary school art was traumatic for me. Yeah, me too, babe. You all did your best, and that's all that should matter.
Thank you.
Right. I would say thank you too, but you ended with LMFAO, which means you're kind of laughing at me, but that's okay. I had a really fun day, even if mine is
we all did our best. My best was just better. It's fine. Like that's what you're saying. Like I win. Thank you.
And now she's lobbying for votes. She definitely tried it. Vote Kyle Petty for best BB comic a la Jury Duty. That's all I have. What else is happening this week? Unless y'all got something else.
A double eviction.
The double. I'm excited just to see what happens for this.
I'm so excited for the double.
So, who do we think is going home? Do we think it's Terrence? Is that
During
like,
the I think
like
this
for the
week,
first
I think
for
we're
the first
losing. Yeah,
eviction?
yeah. This week, I think we're losing Terrence.
I think that's safe.
Yeah, I think we're losing Terrence. And during the double, even though I stand, I am rooting for a Michael exit.
Yeah,
I think if it doesn't happen during, like, I think the double is going to be their only shot.
Yes,
I
agree.
think, and you know what? I could totally see in a double like that. You know, Michael can't play, and Monty and Turner will both be playing. I could see either one of them taking this HOH, and if that's the case, then Michael is going to have to win that veto. So,
And I only say that, like, I feel like this would be the only shot because, like, I think that catching him off guard like that is going to be the only way to weaken him. If he's, like, prepared for a veto, I think you're in danger. If he's just, like, scrambling and it's like, well, now it's a double eviction, so you got to play a bunch of, like, I think that he might potentially scramble.
what do you think? What do you think happens if Taylor wins that HOH during the double eviction? Do you think she goes after Michael?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah?
Yes, I do. Because she has already kind
been
of
talking
laid the
about it.
groundwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has already laid the groundwork for it. And this is the most opportune time to do it because if she's successful and he doesn't win that veto, this is the one time that she gets no blowback for her actions. Like,
Yeah.
Michael would then have a full week to kind of like work against her and all of this other stuff. Like, this is the time to do it. But I don't know. As I say that, it's also a very, very good possibility that maybe she wouldn't, because if he doesn't go out and he does win the veto, now he has a whole week to work against her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I don't know. I also don't think that Taylor is. I don't think she looks enough forward to think that far. So I think she still would swing.
Yeah.
Which I'm here for. He's got to go.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to try.
I have another question then. So for Michael, in this week that we're currently in, that we're watching, is his downfall here not targeting Monty or Turner? Because, so here's the thing. He made that promise to Turner, right? About if you put Kyle on the block and send him out because of the information that's come out this week, I will not target you next week. Okay? And so Michael has stuck to that. He doesn't want to put Turner up. But Brittany, to her credit, I will say, has been trying to convince him that if you're not going to go after Turner, why not go after Monty this week? They're obviously working together. They're both coming for you. You made the promise to Turner. You didn't make the promise to Monty. So could this be a situation this week where Michael should have maybe tried to go after Monty, and now this is going to be like his downfall here, where you're not taking the opportunity to take out this target? Yeah, great, you made the promise to Turner, but does that mean Monty's fair game? What do you guys think about that? Just out of curiosity. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. Monty's my winner pick,
right.
But that is something that was out there, and like in a way, I agree with Brittany there, right? I mean, I think you got to take out a big target at some point, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, sending out Terrence is great, but if you can get rid of Monty or Turner, should you be doing that? I don't know.
I have an answer.
I'd like to hear
I just feel like I talk too much. Do you have something to say? Gina?
No.
Are you good? All right.
Go ahead.
So I don't think that's the move to make. Unfortunately, I don't think that Monty wins enough for him to be an active conversation at this time. Well, period. Like that's really it.
Even like just at this
no
time, I have wondered for a while why there were so many people saying that Monty is such a big threat in the game. Because there was a period of time.
So worried?
There was a period of time where Monty was like at the head of a lot of those conversations, and I never really understood why.
Right? Like why?
I totally agree with that. I do wonder though at this stage of the game though, if it's more. I'm not even saying necessarily Monty, but like even Turner. You know, like at some point.
I think that's fair to say of anyone though. Like, because at this stage of the game, like, it's completely different, because there's just so many less people playing. Like, it's so
Right.
very easy to say in the beginning, like, oh, you're not winning comps, you're not winning comps. Okay, well, I was playing this game against 15 other people. I was playing this
Right.
game against 14 other people. Now I'm playing against a smaller amount, and Monty is still not winning.
And Turner's
No,
won 2
it's true.
HOHs.
Right. So why are we
Right,
always
right,
putting
right.
Monty at the front of these conversations? I think that Turner really should be the larger target. But I think that from what we're seeing, because of course we are seeing some conversations they don't have access to. So
Yeah.
based on what we've seen, we know that Monty really should be the one that people are going after, because Monty is the one who's having these conversations that are making some social moves against these people. But he doesn't win anything, so it's not really going to get him anywhere.
Yeah.
So, like,
Sure,
is that who
sure.
should be? Is that who you should be
Right. He
focusing on?
has a lot of ideas of who he would target should he win power, but
he doesn't.
Not.
Right.
Right.
I
But
think,
it also, you have to have a conversation around who you think he could influence that might get some power.
Right.
Sure.
So who are those people, though? So who are those people?
Turner.
That you think that Monty?
Turner. So Monty and Turner are working together. So I think the combination of them, of having both of them still in there. But I also feel like like I was saying, like, I'm not even just saying the Monty thing, because obviously Michael made this promise to Turner that he wouldn't put him up this week. But I was even listening to something earlier about somebody was saying, I think it was Chappelle talking to Taryn on their podcast, saying, like, Michael at this point, like, it's like he kind of mishandled, kind of bungled, right, him and Brittany, the whole sort of like exposing Kyle thing, because they thought that they were going to be, giving this information to the house and people would be happy they were learning this about Kyle or whatever. But it turned out to blow back on them a bit, because people were like, well, why did you just sit on this for so long and not say anything? And so from like what they were saying on that podcast was that, like, now Michael has, like, kind of had this situation. Maybe he's feeling a little, nervous because he's gotten some blowback from how they handled the situation. And now he's like purposely not making game moves because of this other game move that he made that, like, shouldn't have been made by exposing Kyle the way that they did. And it's like, now he's making mistakes like here. So it's like, you made this promise to Turner, but, like, Turner's probably your biggest threat in there. And Turner and Monty are working together. And after Turner, it's probably Monty that's your biggest threat.
We even heard in Michael's DRs from last night's episode talking about, like, yeah, like, it would be best for my game to do this, but, like, morally, would it be best? And it's like, I feel like he is kind of, like, backtracking a little bit because, like, his morals were in question last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I feel like we see so much stuff, and like, everything changes so quickly, and it's just like, so it's just, like, interesting to think about all these different scenarios. And
no, it is.
But yeah.
No, it's hard to say. I don't know, man. I just don't think that Monty should be a main target right now. He says a lot of things that make us believe that we should make a move against him. He just doesn't win anything.
Who do you think should be the biggest target then, though? Because I agree with you, honestly. I think that Turner is honestly a bigger threat than Monty at this point. He's won more than Monty. But I do think that Turner and Monty are two of the biggest threats. And then, like, who else is in there? I mean, Taylor's only won one comp. Alyssa hasn't won anything.
Right now, this week, just this week, I am not saying this is like a season-long threat. This week, the focus should be Terrence.
Oh, I agree, but I think it's already pretty much set in stone. I think that Terrence is going home based on what I'm seeing in there.
And I do think that's just the right decision.
Yeah.
No one else is winning like him. Like, he has won, like, was it 3 comps? Because he won the HOHs that got him the HOHs to Direfest, which was
right,
kind of like a toss away in its own way. But he did win the veto that kind of came from Direfest, and I feel like he won something before that.
I don't know.
Like, wasn't that his third?
I don't think he had gotten anything before that HOH.
No. I guess now that you talk about it, he definitely was never HOH. He also was never.
He for sure
Veto.
never won an HOH.
Right.
I don't think he had done anything before that HOH for Direfest.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
But
it's still more than Alyssa.
But even still, yeah,
right,
exactly.
But that's what
it doesn't matter. If they did.
While her zing was
more
harsh,
Alyssa.
while her zing was harsh, it was not wrong.
Other than the fact that she is at least a vote. She's at least a vote. You know?
Yeah, but everyone's a vote.
Right. I don't think that. Everybody says they throw veto.
Hi, Sex Poobie. Welcome to the chat. Who threw veto?
And which veto?
Well, we were talking about Terrence at the time, so I don't know.
Through this veto?
I don't know which veto though.
Right. Enlighten us, Sex Poobie. We'll be waiting. But until then, I don't know. So she says Terrence.
Which veto is this?
Through the veto.
Was it this week? Because
I'm assuming this week.
That's right. That's right. OTEV.
Oh yes, he did throw OTEV. Yes.
That is true. That is true.
But I don't think he would have wanted though. He,
who's to say? Who is to say?
Yeah.
That's a mystery. That's a mystery.
Based on,
we don't know what answers he may have stockpiled or anything like that. We don't know.
No, but
right.
It came down to him and Michael though, and Michael. He sprinted right up there. I feel like based on what we saw.
No, but he did. But there was a
no
conversation between Terrence and Michael that happened
where
up
Terrence
there.
told him that he was going to throw it to him.
Yeah, he's like, I want you to win this. I don't want to win this. I don't want to win this. So like, you really don't know what Terrence like. The editing showed Michael kind of stockpiling these answers. I'm keeping these over here because I already know where I can find them. We don't know if Terrence did the same.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So when he had that conversation, like up on those platforms, like who knows how that really went?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Which actually then now, I don't even know who was left at that point. We'd have to go back and really review, like what the situation was at that point, and if him winning OTEV would have been impactful.
I know.
There was something there, like the back door that they were planning.
Daniel was still in there at the time.
Yeah, Daniel was still there. Jasmine was there. Joseph was there. I remember Jasmine had a busted ankle, but she still did OTEV.
I feel like that was a point actually where like Daniel and Terrence were trying to like. Terrence wanted to stay on the block to send Monty or Joseph out. That's what it was. He wanted to throw the veto so that they would stay on the block. And then he could get one of like Monty or Terrence.
Yes, right. Because
Monty or Joseph.
Effect. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is exactly what Sex Poobie says. It would have taken Terrence off the block. ... Dumb. And yeah. I don't disagree. It would have taken Terrence off. And I wonder who is HOH then? Do you remember?
God, I don't
Probably
remember.
Michael. I don't know.
The way things go.
Yeah.
Unless that was Taylor's
That
week.
feels like so freaking long ago, man.
It feels like 3 months ago.
I don't think Festy Besties were a thing Taylor's week. Were they? I don't remember. Oh, God. I really don't remember.
No, that was the first week that they didn't have Festy Besties because I remember her having a conversation in the HOH room when she was floating Turner and Monty as pawns. And she was like, and they were like, no, we don't do this anymore because we don't have Festy Besties, so we don't have like an security blanket to vote out. If we're
says it was Mike. That Michael.
That's
was,
what. That sounds right.
That's who was
HOH
right. Then. Yeah. It's interesting.
It feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
It literally was. In terms of the game, it was a really long time ago. When you talk about mid-August, which is when I'm assuming this was question mark. Yeah, that really was some time ago.
Yeah. Well, oh God.
So this week ahead, like, what do we think?
I don't know. All I know is that I don't even know what I want to happen in the double eviction. I don't even know what I really truly want to happen.
I have no idea.
But I feel like if Michael was to somehow go home during the double eviction, I would think that that's going to be a very exciting double eviction. however
Hey,
we
listen,
I gotta tell you, that's exactly
that's
what
my
I
winner
want.
pick. That's my winner pick. I of course want to see him win. It is in
Right.
everybody's best interest in the house if they do not get him out in the double, and it wasn't because he won veto and saved himself, they're dumb.
I'm gonna charge you with. I think it's in literally the rest of the country's best interest if Michael goes home. Like it is so boring if he just skates to the end and he just
Yeah.
wins. Like I'm sorry, like I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the win, but as a viewer, that's not what I'm interested in. I want to
Now-
see, like, if he goes. Can we get into this part of the conversation? I'm so sorry, anybody who's watching. Drop off whenever you want, but like,
don't
I
drop
feel-
off. Listen.
I mean, don't drop off. No, whenever you want. You're welcome to stay. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. But what I'm saying is that, like, I feel if Michael leaves, I just feel like that opens up so much. Like it creates so many different situations that I genuinely do not know how things will end. And that's what I like. I want Michael out of here just because I feel like he's a shoo-in. If he stays there with all of his comp wins and his social strategy being what it was, he's going to win. And he deserves to. So he's got to go. So in that case, is it really possible, like, to pinpoint a winner? No.
I also think it would be really exciting if, like, Michael, like, breaks this comp record on this season, gets sent out in the double eviction, and then, like, in a couple of years comes back on, like, another season or something to try to redeem himself.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Because he cannot compete in the double HOH. If he does not win the veto and get sent home, he will not break the record. That will just leave it at a tie.
Well,
can we talk about spoilers for a hot second, though?
Yeah,
I feel like we kind of already are.
No, we already have, but I really want to. I just want to dive a little bit more. So, if you're watching live and you don't know how things with the veto come out, if we didn't already spoil it, we're gonna really talk about it now. This is your chance to go. 3, 2, 1. Nobody left, so thanks for staying. I'm gonna say so. Obviously, veto wins. Michael wins veto.
Of
but
course.
like, what I was seeing on Twitter is that he already beat Janae.
Yeah, I heard he. I
thought
actually
that was what tied it.
I also was seeing that he broke the record. But was it just her veto record or her overall competition record?
No, because that was what it was, I think. He had already beaten her record of most vetoes in a season, but had not yet beaten the record of overall competition wins in a season.
So, based on what I was seeing on Twitter today, then he broke the other record again. He broke the other record now. The overall.
Because I thought that maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. When did Taryn tweet that? Because I thought that the veto is what tied it, but maybe I'm wrong. Hold on, I have to check my receipts. Where was that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My cord fell out.
I watched you struggling, and I didn't want to drop down to do it.
No, I'm glad you didn't interrupt. I didn't want the conversation to be disturbed, but I did miss everything. So, what did you say as you're looking for whatever fact checking you're doing?
Because I can't remember if the veto this week is what tied him with the record or if that broke the record.
What I understand is that the HOH that he won that got him into this seat.
That was the tie.
Is what broke. That is what tied him. With the most individual wins, individual comp wins.
No. I found the tweet. Michael has won the veto and has officially broken the single season veto record. He is also the first person to tie Janelle's longstanding competition record at 9 wins in a single season.
That's from today?
He broke. That was from when he won the veto. So he broke the single season veto record. He has not broken the all-time season competition record.
So he would have to do that.
He's tied with that. So if he was to lead in the double, it would stay at a tie.
Okay. So can we please get people to rally behind? Michael has to go. Leave Janelle alone. I can't have it. I just can't have it. I cannot have
Oh my God. Stop.
I thought it already didn't.
No,
Please, anybody, stop Michael! Just stop him!
He
my God.
That's I'm freaking screaming.
Are
He broke
are you
the
all right?
He broke the single season veto record originally set by Janelle 16 years ago in 2006. He is also the first person to tie Janelle's longstanding competition record at 9 wins in a single season, also set in 2006. Veto record is broken. Competition win record is not.
He has to go right now. How can we charter a plane to fly a banner? Like, how can we?
It is dependent. It is dependent on
yeller.
It is all dependent on whether or not he wins the veto in the double, assuming that he's the target. Because if he wins the veto in the double, he cannot go home and he's already broken it. If he goes home in the double, it will mean that he did not win the veto and it will stay at a tie.
So, I feel like basically if anyone but Brittany wins, there's a good chance that Michael would go in double, right?
Assuming he's the target. They have to be smart enough to know that they're shot.
But I feel like for Monty and Turner, he would definitely be. They've been talking about it, right? I mean,
Monty, Turner, and even Taylor.
And Taylor too, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Taylor. Unless too.
I did see some chatter out there on BB Twitter that apparently that Monty was talking about possibly targeting Taylor at one point. Like in the last couple of days, I saw some people on BB Twitter.
They're always talking about targeting Taylor.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know why you would target anyone other than Michael.
I'm sorry, Sex Poopy. This is where we part ways.
No parting ways.
No, we're parting ways.
We're
Because
just
she's saying
disagreeing.
she wants to see him break Janelle's record, even though you still want him to go. So, I need you to pick a side. I really need Michael to go. I just really want Janelle to be left alone. She's my queen. She's my queen. I'm sorry. She's everything to me. Janelle for the win.
We'll see.
Period and forever. Tommy was like, well, if that's the case and Janelle just has to play again, I was like, it doesn't matter because she will always be everyone's first target.
Right.
Like we saw that on that janky ass All Stars. Like,
yeah, literally they saw her walk into the house and they were like, okay, so
no, she's got to go.
Goodbye.
She's like, I'm gonna do safety suite. I'm like, this is just a mess. Like I was like, safety suite. I fucking hate it. Oh my gosh. So Matt Blevins says, I would give everything to see you three being wall yellers.
You would literally just see Kyle on the other side of the wall going, I don't think that's interesting.
I don't think that's interesting. Send home Michael. I love him. But send home Michael. I don't want to be Janelle. I was all about Michael up until he started playing with Janelle's record. Like, I just can't have it. I just cannot have it. Like, so I'm so upset. I'm so upset.
I have never seen you scream like that. Your entire screen was shaking. You were blurry.
Everything was shaking. Everything was shaking. It's wild.
It looks like blurs. It was. That's very funny. If that's not clipped, I'm mad.
I love Janelle so
You know I love Janelle too.
much.
If that's not clipped after the veto episode airs, I'm mad.
So sad. I'm really so sad. All right. We're already at an hour and a half.
Damn.
Do we have anything else for the benefit of the community?
I don't think so. Just remember to vote on our BB Comics.
Yeah. No, remember to vote on my BB comic. Thank you.
Falsas esperanzas. So what we are doing the week ahead, we are chatting the Challenge USA on 10:30 at Wednesday. At 10:30 on Wednesday. Who cares? Whatever. And then on Thursday, we are live at 11:15 after the double.
That's right.
Everything that happened then. Sex Movie just says, okay. I'm not hearing anything you guys are saying, but that's fine. I'm seeing your reactions. I know.
Oh, no.
That's fine. Don't worry. We'll figure it out after the stream.
Okay.
So anyway, we are live again on 10:30 on Wednesday, talking about the challenge. We will reveal the winners of this BB Comics Jury Duty contest on Thursday after the double. You will be able to vote for this for the very first time on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, we're going everywhere.
So what if we have two different? Are we gonna come
to see
oh,
this?
You can't hear
Please
me.
vote for
Fuck.
Kyle Petty for your BB Comics Jury Duty winner. I don't know if you guys are saying anything, and I'm so happy that I don't. And that's that. So thank you all for watching. That's what we're doing. Find us on the socials at BB Jury Duty or on our website at bbjuryduty.com. This was Jury Duty, your favorite Big Brother podcast. I don't care how presumptuous that is. And that's it. We're out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much.